Hi guys, welcome to my channel. It's BJ here. So in this video, we'll be going over how to use SQL to do some of this or all of this analysis. So let's assume that we are being tasked by a stakeholder to answer all these business questions using the famous Contoso dataset by Microsoft. So these are some of the analysis which we'll be going over. So it's just a little bit of this and that, not a general analysis. So we have the sales. So how has total revenue changed month by month? Which products and category generate the most revenue? Which regions contribute the most to sales? Likewise for customer as well, analysis, product analysis, profitability analysis, time analysis, and store/channel analysis. So we'll be going over all these business questions. So let's get started. So the database which we'll be using is a PostgreSQL database. So now I'm connecting to this PostgreSQL database using the Visual Studio Code and with an extension called DB Code. So this DB Code provides us with an interface that is similar to Jupyter Notebook. We are going to be writing our SQL statements in each one of these, and after running it, we will be provided with a result at the bottom here. So now let me show you the database which we'll be using. So it's a Contoso database. So here is the database which we'll be using, and let me show you the entity relationship diagram here. So these are all the tables. It is loading. So these are all the tables in this database. These are all the tables. So, and their relationship from each dimension table to the fact table, except this currency exchange that there is no relationship with this to the fact table. So we have the store key here, which contains the primary key and the foreign key. So each of these tables have their primary key and their foreign key, which is connecting them to this fact table here. Let's get started. So now let's check the first business question. So we are being tasked with how has revenue changed month by month. So let's see how we can answer that. So now the first step is to extract months from this data set, from this data. So select, let's see how the data looks, star from sales, which is this fact table from sales. Let's run it. No, let's limit so that we won't waste a lot of time. I'm just trying to get an overview. Limit 10. Okay, so this is how it looks. We have the order key or invoice ID, then the line number. The line number represents for each of these transactions. You can have multiple line numbers which are different orders. So order date, delivery date, customer key for the customer that make that order, the store key where the order is coming from. We have the product key which represents the product, the order, the quantity, unit price, net price, unit cost, currency, and exchange rates. So we'll be going over this. So now the question is, how has total revenue changed month by month? So first we are going to group this data using months. So right now the data is a daily data. As you can see, it's a daily data. The daily data. So we are going to group it into months. So let's do that. Let me cancel all this. Now, to do this, select. We are going to be using the date strong function, date strong to extract months from our order date, and be naming it as order months. Enter. So we'll be aggregating because we are trying to get all the whole sales on a monthly basis. Then we check the month over month sales. So sum. Now we are going to use the quantity the quantity column and multiply with unit price. So as revenue. So now as revenue from sales table, which is our fact table, from sales table, then we are grouping by this other months, then order by months, other months again. Let's format it. Now there's supposed to be a comma here, but these are separate columns. So let's run and check. It's loading, give it a minute. Okay, so now as you can see, this is for January, February, March, April, May, continuously like that over 2016, 2017, 2018, all the way to 2024. Yes, April of 2024. That's the end point of this data. So now, as you can see, this is in timestamp format. Let's convert it to dates. We are casting it as date object or date. Now for this, let's round it up to 2 decimal place. So round. We'll be casting this as a numeric data type. Numeric, then 2 decimal place, close brackets, and run. Okay, so as you can see, it's looking clean. So in the month of January, we made a sales of about $454,683. And for the month of February, we made a sales of about $768,749.90. So now we have gotten our monthly sales. So we are trying to do a month-over-month calculation here. So we'll be converting this to a CTE or a subquery. But for cleanliness, we want our code to be clean. So we'll be using a CTE. So with monthly sales as open bracket, close bracket. Now select star from monthly underscore sales. Let's format it to look clean. Let's run it. Okay, so now we'll be using lag function or lag Windows function. Is a Windows function. So lag, we'll be using lag. So what are we trying to lag? We are trying to lag this since we are doing month-over-month sales. So lag revenue over. So we are not going to partition. We are just trying to order by months, order months, as previous underscore revenue. Let's see if it's working. Okay, it is working. So guys, the formula for doing month-over-month calculation is current month minus previous month divided by previous month. So as you can see now, this place here, this data here has been moved to this place here, but it shifts by 1. It shifts by 1. That's why you're saying null here. That means there is no data present here. That's why I'm saying null here. So current month, which is this, minus previous month divided by previous month times 100. So that's the formula. So now let's turn this into a CTE as well. So for our code to look clean, comma, previous month revenue, as open brackets. So we are still using CTE here. CTE stands for common table expression. Okay. Now I should have proceeded and used this directly without instead of creating another CTE, but our code won't be clean. It won't be clean. You are going to see what I'm going to explain that. So select star from previous month revenue. Let's format it. Okay. Okay, guys. So it is still the same thing, but I want our code to be clean. So now what we are going to do is that we are going to say, okay, star, comma. So I said the formula for doing month over month is current month, which is our revenue minus previous month, which is our previous revenue. So let's put this in brackets divided by previous revenue. Now I'm going to use a function called null if, because now if we were to have 0 here, just a good practice, if we were to have 0 here and we were to run this code, it's going to throw an error. So since we don't want that, so we are going to use null. So it's going to convert it to null if this data in any one of these data points equals 0, it's going to convert it to null. So wherever it sees 0, it will change it to null. So this is also a type safety. So we're just trying to make our data safe so that anywhere we come across 0, it will automatically provide null. So it's still going to run it. So let's check if it's working. So it's still loading. Okay, guys, it is working. So let me quickly clean this. So let's round this round. So let's round it up. Numeric. So into decimal place as MOM, month over month. So let's reconfirm. Let me clean this. Let me remove this. So we're going to multiply it times 100. Okay, guys. So let me multiply it times 100. Okay, guys. So as you can see, our month over month increased by 69% from the previous month. That means this month year, February, made additional sales and it increased by 69% from this month. While from this month, we sell less compared to that's why I'm seeing negative here. And from this month here, we sell less. That's why I'm seeing negative here as well. And from this month, we sell more. That's why I'm seeing about 253% increase. And likewise, for this month here, we made more sales compared to this previous month. That was saying 34, and then our sales went down again, minus 13, and it's increased here again. So it's increased by 11%. It decreases by the previous month here, that I say minus 2%. So we have answered our first question. So now, which product and category generate the most revenue? So we are going to do this separately. Yes, we are going to do this separately. So let's first calculate for product first. So let's go over it. So let's save this. Let me fold it. Okay, so select. So now we are trying to check for the product that's making more sales. So we are going to use the product key, comma, sum. So it's going to go by, so sum quantity, this quantity column here, in case if you did not still understand, this quantity column here, multiply by unit price. So quantity multiply by unit price. Okay, as revenue. I don't want us to use sales because we already have a sales table. So there's going to likely be a conflict, and I don't want that. That's why I'm using revenue instead of sales here. Okay, so let me format this. So from what table? From our sales table. Then we are going to group by, we are grouping by product key. As you can see, this one here is the foreign key. That means the data is this column is in sales, while this one here is the primary key. So we are still going to make use of this while we are doing joins. So let's just proceed with this first. Product key from sales, since we are currently working on sales data or sales table. Okay, so it's running. Okay, so as you can see, we have the product key here, but not the actual product name. So for us to get the product name, we are going to join these two tables. This product table here and this. Then we are going to extract this product name. So let's quickly do that. So we are going to use left join. Left join what? We are trying to join product table P on what? On S. So let me quickly put an alias here on S alias dot product key equals, so product alias P dot product key from product. Then now let's do product P dot product name. Okay, so let's remove this product key since we'll be needing it. We'll be needing the product name. So now let's group by this. Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Okay, so let's order by revenue. This is revenue. So in descending order. Let me format this to look clean. Okay. So this one here is going to be beneath this from here, not beneath the group by. Okay, let's run it. So as you can see, this WWI desktop PC2 is the one that is making the most sales. So from what you can see here, then followed by Adventure Work Desktop, then followed by Adventure Work Desktop differentiating with colors. So that is that we have gotten the top products. Let's see the business question again. Which product and category? So we have seen the product. Now let's check for the category as well. Let's do for the category. Okay. So now let's just copy all this. Let's copy all this. So we don't want to repeat because this is a repeat. This is almost the same code as the previous one, but we are going to change this to category name because inside the product table we still have the category here. So this is the category. So, and we don't have anything like category key here. So we are still going to make use of this product table here, but instead of this product name, we'll be using category name. So let's quickly do that. Let's quickly do that. So it's going to be p dot category name. Category name. Okay. So let's change this group by as well. So category name. Category name from product. Okay, so let's check all the whole categories and the one that is making the most sales. Okay, guys, so the computer category is the one making the most sales with about 95 million in revenue. Yes, 95 million in revenue. Then followed by cell phone that is making about 34 million. So that means this one is making 3 times the sales of this. So then followed by home appliance with the least one that is making the sales, the least category, which is the game and toy category. So that is it for the product. Now I've gotten the product as well. Let's check the next business question. Which regions contribute the most to sales? Now to get this region, since we don't have a region in this our sales table, but we have customer table which has the region in which each customer belongs to, which is either this country full or country. So we are going to be making use of that. So let's dive in. So to get the country that is making the most revenue, or region that is making the most revenue, so we have to use select. Now we are going to let me quickly just write out some of this. Left, because we're trying to join the customer table with the sales table. Left join. So from sales, just to make this easier, sales S, from sales S. Now we are trying to join the customer table C on what? On S dot customer key from sales first, then C dot customer key from customer table. C dot customer key from customer table. Okay, so now we are trying to get the country that is making the most sales, or where most of our sales are coming from. So we are going to say, or we are going to write C dot country full, which is the full name of the country, comma. So we are going to be aggregating with sum. So quantity times unit price as revenue. So after doing this, we have to group by country name, group by C dot country name, C dot country full, or country full, yes, country full. So we are ordering by what? Ordering by revenue, since we are trying to check the country that is making the most revenue, and in descending order. So let's format this. Okay, our code is looking clean. Let's run it. Okay, so most of our sales are coming from United States, followed by United Kingdom, with Italy being the least. Let me round this up to 2 decimal place. So round, open brackets. So we are going to cast this as numeric. If we did not cast it, our rounding up won't work. It's going to throw an exception or an error. So let's run it and see if it's working. Okay, guys, it is working. It is working. Let me quickly do this. Let me do the same for this. Let's do the same for this. So copy, paste. Okay, okay. So good. So far, so good. Okay. So we have been able to answer this sales performance. I've been able to answer question under this sales performance. So let's dive into customer performance as well, or customer analysis. Okay. So the business question, or the first business question for this is, which top 5 customers buy most often? Now, when we are using buy most often, we are not using by sales. We are trying to use by invoice or the amount of transaction. So that's what this business question means. Why this one here means the total amount they have spent on a business. So this one means count or distinct count of transaction. Why this one means sales, the amount they spent. Okay, so let's quickly do this. Let's quickly do this. Okay, so since we are trying to get our top 5 customers that they made the most transaction, so we'll be using the other key, because the other key is the one that is, so the other key is one that contains the invoice transaction. So select customer key. Let me quickly just write out the code so it won't look confusing. From sales from sales S, because we are going to be joining, because we need the top 5 customers. So let me just show you the ERD again. ERD. So as you can see, there is a relationship between this customer table and this sales table, and the relationship is with this customer key here. Let me click on it. As you can see, this customer key here. So we can just go ahead and write the SQL statement and retrieve this customer key. But this customer key is an ID, but we want the customer name, which is given name here and the surname. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So let me write out the statement first before I start inputting the customer name. Select from left join. So from sales alias S join. So we are joining the customer table alias C on S dot customer key, the foreign key, and C dot customer key, which is the primary key in the customer table. Okay, so now we'll be using C dot given name, comma, and C dot surname, comma. So since we are trying to count their distinct transaction, the frequency in which they have shopped with us, the top 5 customer, there is a count distinct order key, which is the invoice key or the invoice ID, order key, as let's just use frequency. Then we will grouping by group by both of these, Ctrl V, then order by frequency, descending, DSC. So since we are looking for the top 5, so we are going to use limit 5. Let me format this. Okay, so let's run it. Give it a minute. Okay, so our top customers with the highest frequency or number of purchase, yes, is William Smith with a frequency of 22 transaction, followed by Mary John, then by John Walker, then be the last of the top 5 being James. So now, since we have gotten for the number of times they shopped with us, now we are going to look for the top 5 customers that spends the amount of money with us as well, which is this, generate the highest lifetime value. So let's do that. So for instead of us creating another SQL statement, let's just copy this and make some changes to it. Control C, since they're almost similar. So what we are going to be doing here is that we are going to change this count here and change it to sum or the revenue, since we are looking for the top 5 customer by revenue. So it's going to be sum. So we are going to sum, calculate or multiply quantity times unit price, close the bracket. Now let's just round it up once and for all. Round, then cast this as numeric into decimal place, close bracket for sum. Let's run it. Moment of truth. It's loading. Okay, so as you can see, our top 5 customer by revenue is David Green, spending about $70,000, and followed by James Thompson, about $68,000, with the last of the top 5 being Dalian Brennan, spending about $60,000. Okay, so we have been able to answer these 2 business questions. So now let's answer this. What percentage of customers are repeat buyers versus one-time buyers? Okay, so now what we are trying to do is that we are trying to look for share of repeat buyer, customer that shop with us more than once versus customer that shop with us. So what we are actually trying to see here is that if our retention, that means if we're able to retain more customers, or the more we're able to retain customers, the more they shop with us. So now we are trying to convert, if not all of this, which is not realistic, for them to be repeat customers. So we want to check if our retention efforts are working. So that's what this business question is about. So the higher this is, the better compared to this. So let's do that. Okay, so now this is going to follow series of steps. Now we are going to calculate each customer's the amount of time they have done transaction with us. So that's what we are going to do. And then we are going to segment or create a label for repeat customer and one-time customer. So let's get started. So now we'll be copying this code here. I'll be copying this code here because at least since we are trying to count for frequency, so if the frequency is 1, that means they are one-time customer. And if it is more than 1, that means they are repeat customers. So once we already have the statements here, let's go ahead and copy this and make some modification to it. Okay. So now I'll be removing this limit. Yes, I'll be removing this limit. So let's see. Okay, it's fully loaded. Yes, it is fully loaded. So now you can see that we have some customers here that made 22 purchase, 14 purchase. Now let's check the list. So I can see we have some people that also made one or just one time purchase. So what we'll be doing is that from this frequency, we'll be creating a label. The label column is going to be here. So for this one customer, it's going to be once, while for customer that purchase more than once, is going to be repeat. So that's what we are going to do. So now we are going to create a CTE. Let's convert this into CTE. So with customer underscore frequency as open bracket, close bracket, So what we'll be doing is that we'll be using select and using case statements. Select. So we'll be selecting, let's select all, star, then now we'll be using case statements. Case. So it's going to be case when frequency when frequency is greater than 1, then it's going to be repeat else is going to be once. So anyone that purchased more than once is going to be repeat, whereas if it is less than 1, or if it is 1, exactly 1, is going to be once. So let's end as segment. Let's end it as segment. Okay. From where? From which table? From our CTE. From customer frequency. Let me copy this. From customer frequency. Let's format it. Okay. Let's run it and see if it's working. Okay, guys. So it is working. So let's confirm it. Let's go to the bottom. As you can see, for each of these customers that purchase only once, so once. Okay, starting from frequency of 2, as you can see, repeat. So what we are actually going to do now is that we are going to check the margin of repeat compared to once. So what we are going to do is that we are going to convert this back into CTE as well. So, comma, repeat underscore versus once as, so this is another CTE. Okay, so the only column we'll be making use of is this column here. So, okay, select segment, comma, count segment as count. Let me format this as count. Then from what? From this repeat versus once, repeat versus once. So group by segment, Let's format this. Let's run it. Let me remove this. So as you can see, we have about 25,949 compared to 21,960. That means the margin is a bit small, but we are not retaining most of our customers. So we are not retaining most of them. So let's just see this in percentage. So segment divide by, so let's use a subquery, select count all from repeat underscore versus underscore once. So let's check if this will work. So I'm going to multiply by 100. Let me multiply by 100 times 100. It's still going to load. Okay. The reason why we are seeing this 00 here is because this count and this count, this subquery, they are both a whole number. So there's nothing like decimal there. So that's why we are saying this is a whole number 0, which is the first number of that division, of the result of that division. So what we are going to do is that we are going to cast either of these as numeric. So let's cast it. So the numeric data type is, it brings out data in form of decimal. So numeric. So we are casting this. Then let's put all this in brackets. It's loading. And it's loaded. So as you can see, we have about 54% of the customer purchasing once and 45% of them purchasing repeatedly or repeat buyers. So our retention effort is not that working. So we can either run some marketing campaign and try to convert most of the people here, and if all, but all is not realistic. So most of the people here, and convert them into repeat buyers. So that's the recommendation for this part here. We can offer some discounts, run some discounts, some coupon, just to try as much as convert these ones into repeat buyers. So that's it for that. So let's check the next business question. So for the product analysis, we have answered this. So for the product analysis, so the first question is which products sell consistently across months. So what we are trying to do here is that we are going to check in terms of quantity. We are going to check this in terms of quantity. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so now let me explain what we are going to do. So after we have calculated our sum of each product, we are going to assign them a row number. So we assign them row number based on their quantity. So it is with this row number that we are going to filter for the top 3 products. So we are going to filter for the top 3 products. So let's do that. Select date strong, date strong. So we want the month, comma, other dates, alias as other month. Now the product. So we are going to be doing some joinings here. So let me quickly do that. From sales s, alias, from sales s, left join product p on s dot product key from sales and p dot product key from product table. Okay, so p dot product name, let me put this alias, p dot product name, comma, p dot product name, comma. So we are going to check by quantity, some quantity as qty. Okay, let me format it. Okay, so group by, we'll be grouping group by, so we'll be grouping by these two, other month and product name. Control C. Okay, so we'll be ordering by order months, order by order months in ascending order, ASC, or you can omit that because it automatically orders in ascending order. Okay, so let's run it. Okay, other months, sorry, made a mistake here. Supposed to be an underscore here. Okay, let's run it. Okay, it's loaded. So now we have some things to do here. So as you can see, this is in date time. So we are going to convert this into a date. So cast as date, cast as date, and also there are thousands, about 999,000 record here, but we only need the top three for each month. And this month spans across here from 2015 all the way to 2024. Let me scroll down all the way to April of 2024. So now we'll be checking the top three of each month in each year. So let's quickly do that. So now we'll be assigning a row number. So a row number is just like a rank, but the problem with rank is that rank often skip. That means if you have some data and you want to rank them, if there are two values that are similar, it's going to skip one of them. It's going to skip one of them and assign maybe 4 to that number instead of maybe 2 or 3. Okay, so that's the problem with rank, because the higher the gap between the two values, the higher the number it will skip. So now we are going to turn this into a CTE with, so let's name it order underscore month versus product underscore QTY as. Okay, so now we'll be assigning row number here. So select, let me format this. Select star from order underscore month versus product underscore QTY. Okay. So now let's assign the row number. So row number is part of Windows function. So row number, open bracket, close bracket, over. So now we are partitioning by month, since we want top product by month. So we partition by month, partition by what? By other month, which is this. So partition by other month, other underscore month, then order by what? So we are trying to order by this quantity to assign rank or row number based on this quantity here. So order by QTY, which is this quantity. So in descending order, we want it to rank from the highest to the lowest. So let's check that. Let me format this. Okay, so let's run it and see if it's working. Okay, I made a mistake here. Okay. Okay, it's loaded. So now, as you can see, from here, we have the SVDVD 7 inches player. It has 20 quantity. So we sell most of this in January of 2015, then followed by Contoso DVD recorder. So we have DVD recorder is one that we sell much from here. Then followed by digital voice recorder, smart pen. So now we want the top three of each month. So 1, 2, 3 of January. Then we move over to February as well. As can see, data is very much. There's lots of products here. So we move to other month. Hope you get that. Okay. So we want only the top three for each month. Top three for January, top three for February. So now let's convert this to city as well. So row row norms as open bracket, close bracket. So now we'll be filtering. So now select star, which means all record or all columns from row underscore norms. Now underscore norms filter where row number, which is this row number is less than equals to 3. So let's run it. Okay, it's loaded. So as you can see, in January of 2015, we sell SV DVD, Contoso DVD, Contoso water heater. Likewise for the second month as well. So SV DVD is consistent here. Contoso water heater is consistent here. So since we have lots of products here, it's about 1,000 record of products. So we just try to get some pattern. So as you can see, SV DVD, there's a pattern there's a pattern there. Contoso DVD, there's a pattern there. So SV and game, Contoso DVD recorder, WMI desktop. So there's a pattern there. So we can present this data as our top products in each month, top 3 products in each month. So the product that sells the most in each month, you can present this data like this. Okay, so that's it for this business question. Let's check the other. Which product shows declining sales? Okay, which product shows declining sales? Let's solve for that. So now what we are going to do is that we are still going to make use of these statements here. We are still going to make, but we are going to be making some changes to it since it is still product, but instead of the quantity, it's going to be sum. And we are still going to assign row number. So we are going to check the sum. So now, instead of ranking it in descending order, which is from here, from this Windows function, we are going to be ranking it in ascending order. So to know that, okay, these are the products that are declining in sales. Okay, and we are going to filter by top 3 products that are declining in sales across each month as well. So let's quickly copy this. Okay, let's start with this. Don't let us copy it. Let's start right from start. Okay, so select date trunk, date underscore trunk, open bracket. So we want month, order date as order underscore month, comma, we want product name, product name. Don't worry, I still be making changes to this. Product name. Then we want sum of what? Quantity multiply by unit price. As revenue. Okay. From sales S, then left join product table P on S dot product key from sales, equals to p dot product key from product. Control, let's format it. Okay, so we are grouping is similar to the first, is similar to this code here or statement. Group by, so we are grouping by order month and product name. Control C, Control V. Okay, so let's order in ascending order. Order by order month, order underscore month, ASC. Okay, let me format it and run. Okay, so let me cast this as date, and round this up. This revenue, let me round it up. So round, round, cast as numeric, comma, 2 decimal place, another closing bracket. Okay. Okay, so now as you can see, this revenue looks scattered. They are not in an orderly manner. So now we are going to use, we'll be using the row number here. So let's cast this as CTE with order month, versus product revenue as open bracket, close bracket. Okay, let's format this. Okay, so now we are going to assign row number here. So select star from order month versus product revenue. Okay, so let's create the Windows function. Row number, open bracket, close it, over. So now you are partitioning by months, over partition by order month, then order by revenue. Let's format it as well. Let's load it. Okay, so as you can see, some of these products made only 3 point something dollar in revenue. So now we want the top 3 of each month. So we want the top 3. So we are going to convert this as city as well. Row norms as open bracket, close bracket, format. Now select star from row norms, row norms. Now let's filter. Where row number, which is this, is less and equals to 3. So let's run it. Okay, so as you can see, SV and games made only $3.77 in the month of January. Then in the month of February 2015, it's almost the same. So SV and game is consistent here, followed by, so looks like the toy category, the toy and games category is one that is declining in sales. So as you can see, games is consistent here, games is consistent here, games is consistent here across months. July is consistent here, July of 2016. So we have been able to answer the second question on product analysis, which is this: which product shows declining sales? So we have been able to answer that. So some recommendation we can provide is to just drop that category or maybe do some marketing. So that's the recommendation for that. So for the third question, which products have the highest and lowest profit margin? Okay, let's calculate that. Product that have the highest and lowest profit margin. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so we are going to split this question into two. We first calculate for products that have highest margin, and then we copy the same statement and filter for products that have lowest margin. So these are going to be top 3 and top 3. So let's quickly do that. Okay, so the code is almost similar to this as well. It's almost similar to this. You know what? Let's make use of this code. Let's make use of this statement. So Control C. We're making some modifications to it. So now let me show you something here. As you can see, this one is for revenue. Now we are looking for profit. So it's going to be quantity times unit cost. Whereas here it is quantity times unit price. So it's going to be unit cost here. So that's be for the lowest product, for the low profit product. So let's do that. Let's do that. So I want this to be fast. Control C. Now for this part here, it's going to be unit cost. So quantity times cost. Unit cost. Unit cost. So let's check for the top 3 that are making the least profit. Let's run it. So let's change this name to profit instead of revenue. Profit instead of revenue. So order by profit. Order by profit. Okay. It's still loading. As you can see, the questions are similar. The questions are almost similar. So we are making use of one, just copy one of those statements we have already written and just make some modifications to it. Okay. So as you can see, it is still the SV and games. SV and games. So the toy and games category is the one making the least sales. And these are some of the top products. So as you can see, there's a pattern here. There's a pattern here. So now let's check for the product that's giving us the highest profit margin. So the top 3. So it's still going to be the same code. Now it's going to be unit cost. Unit cost. So profit as profit. Now here we are ordering by profits. Now, instead of this, from this row number here, so from this profits here, automatically, we are ordering by ascending order. So we have to specify that we want it in descending because we want it to be from the highest to the lowest. So that's why we are making changes. We are changing this. So let's run it and see. Okay, it's loaded. So this Fabricam independent filmmaker is part of the product that give us the most profits for January 2015, then followed by Adventure Works, WWI Desktop. So likewise, so for year as well. So in the month of February, we have WWI Desktop PC2 that gives about 12 grand in profit. So that is it for that business question. So these are our top 3 products in each month that is giving us the highest profits. So let's move on to the next question. So this one is profitability analysis. Which product categories produce the highest profit? Okay, so this one is profitability analysis. So let's quickly dive in. So now what we'll be doing is that we'll be needing the category name. So select from, because for us to get the category name, we have to use the product table. So that's why I'm writing this down. Sorry about that. Okay. Left join product P on s.product key equals p.product key from product. Now from s sales alias s. Now to get the category name, so we have to use p.category name from the product table. Then we are going to aggregate. So since we are not checking for revenue, we are checking for profit. So it's going to be unit cost times quantity, or quantity times unit cost. So let's check. So it's going to be sum. Let's round this up automatically instead of coming back and rounding it up. So quantity from sales. Let's use s.sales for good practice. S.sales, because that column is from sales table, multiply by s.unit cost. Now convert it to numeric data type, so you can round it up to 2 decimal place. Okay, as profit. Let me format this. Okay, so we want it order by profit in descending order. DESC. Control format again. Let's run it. Okay, so sorry, we forget to group by. Once you aggregate, we are supposed to group by. Group by what? P.category name. Okay, so we have the computer category, which is giving us the most profits, about 39,552,995.90, then followed by the cell phone category, home appliances, TV and video. So as I said earlier, when we are doing the product analysis, the list products, so as you can see, it's games and toys category that is giving us the least profit across the whole years from 2015 all the way to 2024. So it's only giving us a profit of 787,656, whereas we have a category that is giving us about 39,552. So as you can see, the margin is very, very different. So is either we drop this category or we do some marketing, and if there's no change in that, we can just drop that category. Okay, so now let's check the next business question. So how does profit vary across region? Okay, let's do that. Since we don't have region in our sales data, but region is consistent, we have region columns in the customer table. So we are going to make use of that. So select. Let me quickly write down the logic. Select left join, left join customer from customer table, C on S dot customer key from sales equals to C dot customer key from customer table. Okay, so from sales alias S. So now, so get the country, the region, C dot country full, country full. Then we aggregate. Let me check the question again. Profit vary across region. We aggregate. So aggregate. Now sum. Let's round it up. Round quantity times unit cost cast to decimal as profits. Now let's group by group group by group by group by C dot country full as country full name. Then we want to order by profit in descending order. DESC. Let's format it again. Okay, let's run it. Okay. Oh, sorry, I didn't complete this. I thought I completed it. Okay. Okay, so we have United States giving us the most profits, about 47,144,740 and 96 cents, while Italy is the one that is giving us the least profit. So United States, United Kingdom, Germany, Canada, and the rest. Now, what we can do here is that we can check the percentage. Let's quickly do. Let's check the percentage. Let's check the percentage. Divide. So we are going to create a subquery here. So it's going to be select sum quantity times unit cost from sales. So as profit, let's use profit margin from each, but let's just use profit percent, because this is not actually profit from sales. Let's run it. Okay, let me put this in double quotes. So as you can see, the United States is contributing about 52% of the total profit, then followed by United Kingdom 10%, Germany also 10%, Canada 10%, and Australia 5%, Netherlands 3%, or almost approximately 4%, then followed by France at 3%, then followed by Italy at approximately 3%. Let's multiply this times 100 to get the actual value. Okay, so 52%, 10%, 10%, 10%, 5%, or approximately 6, 4%, approximately 4%, 3%, and approximately 3%. So that's that for the region. That's that for the region. How does profit vary across region? So now let's proceed to this. When does sales demand peaks during the year? So now we are going to do some sort of seasonality analysis here. So let's dive in. So this is going to take some time, but just be patient. It's really worth it. Okay. So now what we are going to do first is that we are going to, let me just explain the logic here. So we are going to get the month. Yes, the month name. After the month name, you are going to create a tabular table or a cross tab. So the month is going to be on the index, while the year is going to be on the columns. So it's going to be for January, we have 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019 across to 2024. So for February or so on the second index is going to be for 2015, 2016, 2017, likewise like that. So now let's quickly do that. So select. Now we are going to extract month first. Select. So now we will want the month name. So we'll be using to car. To car. So we want month name, other month, other date. Then we want month. The first three characters as month underscore name. Okay, so we want the distance as well. We want the month number. The purpose of the month number is to be able to order by month number, because if we did not order by month number, it's going to order alphabetically based on this month name here. But we want to order in numeric order. So that's why I'm extracting this month listing here, month number. So month from other dates as month number. Let me put a comma here. Okay, so now let's extract the year as well. Extract year from other dates as, let's put as year num, year underscore num. Okay, let's put a comma here. So let's go over the question again. Okay, sales demand peak. So we are using sales, not profit. So sum, let's round it up along the way. Round quantity times unit price cast as numeric, comma, 2 decimal place as revenue, so a comma here as well. From what? From sales. We are not doing any joining here. From sales, group by, so I'm going to be my month name, month number, and year number. So group by month, sorry, made a mistake here. Month name underscore name, comma. I don't know why VS Code keep popping up things I don't need. Month underscore number, then followed by year number. So we want to order by, first we are ordering by year, then followed by month number. So order by year ascending order, it does that automatically. Month underscore, no, it does that automatically, ascending order as well. So let's format this and run it. So let's wait and see. Okay, so as you can see, it's working. So we are ordering by this, then followed by this, then the revenue. So now what we are going to do is that this month name here is still going to be on this axis, whereas on this year number here, we're going to transfer it on the columns here. We're going to transfer it on the columns here because we're trying to check for seasonality. So January seasonality across the years, February seasonality across the year, likewise March seasonality across the year. So that's what we're trying to do here. So now that means we won't be needing this, but we only be ordering by this. So not that we need it for any of the analysis, but just to order by. That's why we are using this. So now I'm going to create a cross tab here. Yes, I'm going to be creating a cross tab here. So, and for that, I'll be removing some things from here. So I'll be removing this month name here. I'll be removing this group by here. I'll be removing it, and likewise this aggregation. Because if we did not remove it, we won't be able to do a pivot table like data or a cross tab like data. So we are going to remove it. So let's do that. Let me remove this. Let's round it up, but let's remove the aggregation. Let's remove the aggregation. Let's remove the group by. Okay, so let's format it. Now let's run it and see how it looks. Okay, so this is how it looks. This is how it looks now. Now we are going to be using the case statement. We'll be using the case statement. So we are going to convert this one into. We're converting this into a CTE. So with yearly, monthly revenue as open bracket, close bracket. Let's format it. So now we'll be using a case statement. We'll be using a case statement. So that we just show you an example, then I'm going to write the rest of the statement so you understand how it works. So select month name, which is this month name, comma, month number, comma, month number, year. Okay, so now we're using a case statement. So it's going to be case when so when year number, year underscore number equals 2015, then we want it to give us all the data for 2015, and that is part of January. Likewise, 2015, that is part of February, all the way to 2015, that is part of December. So let's quickly see that. Let's see that. So case when year number is equal to 2015, then what did we want? We want it to return this revenue, then end. After ending it, then it's going to return revenue. This revenue for January for 2015, for February for 2015. Now we are going to aggregate based on the revenue and the month. So we only be returning one instance of January, then all the aggregation of January that belongs to 2015. So that's what we'll be returning. So as double quote, because this is a number, that's why I'm putting it in double quotes. So from 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 this, from yearly, let's copy it, from yearly monthly revenue, Control C. Okay, so let's order by. So we are not ordering by revenue, we are ordering by month number. Month number. So let's format it and run it. Okay, look like we are missing something. Okay, we didn't go by. Group by, group by. So we'll be grouping by these two, month name and month number. Let's run it. Okay, number, not this. Okay, guys, so as you can see, we now have it in an orderly manner for the year 2015. So January 2015, February 20, these amounts we generate in revenue, a March, likewise along, likewise the rest. So look at, we have some. So let's do the rest for 2016, 27, all the way to 2024. So let's copy this again. Control C, Control V. So now change this to 2016, this to 2016 as well. Let's run it. Let me remove this. Okay, so it's loaded for 2016 as well. So I will go ahead and do the rest. Okay, so I have went ahead and complete the rest. So we have it all the way from 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. So now let's run this. Okay, guys, so it's loaded. So this is what we have. So as you can see, it's in a cross tabulation. So January sales across all the whole years, February sales across all the whole years, March till September, December. Okay, yes, December. Okay, so as you can see, we have no value here, no value here, no value here, because the 2024 data ends in April. It ends in April, so that's why you are seeing no value here for the rest. So now we can't be able to detect seasonality just by looking at this. Can't be able to detect seasonality. So that means we can't check when does sales demand peak during the years, and also for this as well, this SQL statement is going to answer these two questions. It's going to answer these two questions. Which months or seasons show weak sales performance, and when does sales demand peak? So that means we are trying to check for the highest sales and the lowest sales months. So that's why for the peak months and for the lowest month, that's what we are trying to check here. So let's quickly do that. So now, for we to really understand this here, we have to do some sort of visualization. So I'm going to be using a chart here. So let me remove this column. Let me remove this column. Choose columns. Let me remove this month number here because we don't need it. So this is one of the advantage of using this file extension, this extension rather, DB code. So because it allows us to visualize it allows us to visualize our analysis. So let's visualize this. Right click, chart range. So we want on a line chart. So line stacked. Okay, guys. So this is how it looks visually. So as you can see, in January of 2024, we have the highest sales for 2024, while in March, we have the lowest sales. As you can, this is seasonal. That means this is a seasonal data here. As you can see, we have most of our peak sales in February and in December of 2023. December. So look at the pattern here. Look at the pattern. High, low, high, 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 low, high, high, low, high. So this is a seasonality data. That means we have our peak sales in February and in December, while we have our lowest sales in March. No, in April, sorry, in April. As you can see, it is lower than March. It is lower than March. Okay, so guys, this is able to solve or answer these two business questions. These two business questions. So now, are there daily or weekly sales pattern? So now what we are going to check is that we are going to check the weekday. We are going to check the weekday. So let's quickly do that. Okay. Okay. So select. So if using to car. So we want what? Order date, and we want day as day underscore name, comma. So extract day of week from so let's write our aggregation sum round. So let's group by group by. So we're grouping by day name, and day number, then we'll be ordering order by day number. Day number. Okay, let's run it. Okay, so guys, here it is. Let's display this on a line chart or a bar chart. There is a bar chart. Or let's use column. Let's go with column. Okay, guys, seems most of our sales, our peak sales day is Saturday, followed by Thursday, then Wednesday, followed by Friday, then let's use data label. Edit. Let's customize series labels. Okay, let's expand it. Okay, so followed by Friday, then Tuesday. Okay, so that's for weekday peak sales day, and we have our lowest sales on Sunday. So let's check the business question. Now, we are supposed to do for weekly sales pattern, but I don't want us to waste much of our time. So, and also for weekly sales pattern, it's going to be week by month. Yes, it's going to be either the first week of the month, second week of the month, third week of the month, fourth week of the month. Okay, so and so on and so forth for the rest of the month. So now we proceed with this, with store analysis. So let's dive in. Okay, so to do store analysis, let me just show you the store table here. Let me show you the store table with the entity relationship diagram. Okay, so as you can see, this is the store table here. So we don't have the store name. So there is no store name here. We only have the store key and we have the country name and country code. But we are only asked to check for what? Which store performs best in revenue and profit. So what we are going to do now is that all our analysis will be based on this sales table here. So we won't be touching this since there is no store name to refer to from this store table here. So let's start. Okay, so select store key from sales. Store key from sales. Okay, so we'll be aggregate sum round quantity multiply by unit price numeric as revenue, comma, sum round quantity times unit cost for profit. From sales table, from sales, then group by store key from sales. Okay, so let's order by revenue. Order by revenue first in descending order because we want the top performer to appear at the beginning, then followed by profit as well, descending. So from the largest to the lowest. Okay, let's run it. Okay, it's loaded. So our top performance store key is store 440 with a revenue of about 3.5 million and profit of about 1.5 million, then followed by store 450 or 450 with a revenue of 3.4 million and a profit of 1.4 million. So let's check for our least performing store. So store 350 is the least performing with a revenue of $9,358 and a profit of $4,063. So these are the top performing, they are the least performing stores. So for this least performer, we can close some of this store. Okay, we can close some of this store and concentrate our marketing effort on the top performing store and the stores in which their sales is more than the average sales or profit. So we have been able to answer these two business questions. Okay, so that will conclude the end of this analysis. Hope you like the video. So like, subscribe, and share. And if you have any question, you can post it in the comment section and I will be sure to reply it. So Have a wonderful day.